Michael Chandler now joining SportsCenter. Michael, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. How you doing?
Thank you for having me. Goodness gracious, you just gave me goosebumps with that promo. Let's go, baby.
This is the coolest full circle moment because we sat on the desk together on the UFC 274 post show in Phoenix. You had just knocked out Tony Ferguson. On that show, you said, I want Conor McGregor. It's now come to fruition. You two will fight later this year. Why is facing McGregor the right fight for you at this point in your career?
I think it's just perfect. You know, as mixed martial artists, when we get into the sport, we want the brightest lights, the biggest opportunities, the biggest stages of our lives. Of course, we want to provide for our families. We want to make a career out of this. But you want to make people feel something with your performances, and you want to get to the pinnacle, which is the most amount of eyeballs, the most amount of attention, and the most amount of intrigue. Fighting Conor McGregor inside the UFC octagon, live on pay-per-view, is the pinnacle of the sport of mixed martial arts. I want that big stage. I've been fighting for it for the last almost 15 years now, and it's finally come full circle, finally come to fruition, and I couldn't be more excited. I cannot wait to do it. And also leading up to that with The Ultimate Fighter on ESPN right before.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better show. Mystic Mike has made the prediction for this fight. You're expecting a second-round knockout. How will you make that happen?
I do. I think first round, I'm going to get in his face right away, keep my foot on the gas pedal, make him second guess himself, make him take steps backwards right away. After that first round, it finishes. I come off the stool, meet him in the center of the octagon, and I land something after he's slowed down a little bit, after I've gotten my range a little bit. That's my prediction. Hopefully it comes to fruition. If not, it might be a knockdown, drag-out war, and the fans will be the beneficiary.
Imagine that does happen. We'll be replaying that on this show and be like, he actually has a gift.
Mystic Mike.
Mystic Mike. It's worked before. It might work again. Okay, let's talk about Conor. Conor's an interesting story. He stepped away from the UFC since that injury he suffered in the Dustin Poirier loss. Since then, the dude has been enjoying life. He's been acting. He's been focusing on businesses. He's been on yachts. He's been doing it all. Do you feel that you have an advantage because of this long layoff he's had?
I do think so. You know, I have been very active. You know, I just signed with the promotion a little over 2 years ago, and I have fought the who's who, the toughest strength of schedule that maybe anybody ever has coming into the UFC. I have fought no less than anybody ranked outside of the top 5. Fought for a title, some ups, some downs, nonstop action and violence, and me staying extremely active. Conor has had the luxury of stepping away from the sport because he has a very padded bank account. He does live a life of luxury, but we can't make the mistake of thinking that Conor McGregor has lost his passion for mixed martial arts. He loves the attention, he loves the cameras, he loves the competition, he loves the blood and guts and the training of mixed martial arts. It's his first love. It was the one thing that has gotten him from laying on a couch, being a plumber on welfare in Ireland, and turned him into not just a worldwide icon, but a multi-millionaire. So he has the sport of mixed martial arts, his first love, to thank for that. So I think we're going to see a very motivated guy. Also, too, as we mentioned, on ESPN, we're doing The Ultimate Fighter, Team Chandler versus Team McGregor. He's going to be immersed in that house on ESPN for weeks on end, seeing these young fighters, their dreams hopefully coming to fruition. He gets to coach them, he gets to be around them, he gets to impact them. I think we're going to see a nostalgia of Conor McGregor. He's going to find his roots again, and I'm expecting the best Conor we've ever seen. As I said, I want him at his biggest, I want him at his best, and I want him at his most dangerous at 170 pounds later on this year, live on pay-per-view.
That's right. Let's talk about The Ultimate Fighter, because you guys leading into this fight will be coaching in The Ultimate Fighter. You got a group of guys that you're going to be a part of their journey, helping make them better. What are you looking forward to most about this opportunity?
Honestly, the thing I'm looking the most forward to is just the ups and the downs and the unexpected turns that this whole thing is going to be. You know, we have this view and this vision and this expectation of what it could be and how long it's going to be and how many guys or gals you're going to have on your team, how well we're going to do. I know right now the competition for me starts right now. I want to get in Conor's head right now. I want to prove not just I'm a better fighter than him later on down the line, but that I'm a better coach than him, I'm a better leader than him, I'm a better motivator than him to win this, to have my team or a individual on my team win this UFC contract to be the Ultimate Fighter. As I said, when it comes to expectations, we don't know which Conor we're going to see. We've seen the loudmouth, brash, trash talking, in-your-face Conor before. We've also seen a respectful Conor before. And the Conor you get on Monday might be different than the Conor you get on Tuesday, and very different than the one you get on Wednesday. So I can't have expectations. I'm excited for the tension, the animosity, the competition, and everybody across the world gets to see it on Tuesday nights. I think they said it is right here on ESPN. And it's going to be a blast. I
did want to ask you about that. Conor has been reserved, has been a little bit more businesslike, and you guys actually have a lot of respect for each other. I've seen the tweets where you guys have definitely shared respects. How do you think you would handle if he does start to trash talk you coming up to this fight?
It's a challenge that I am excited and willfully throwing myself into. Cool. I have visualized it. I have thought about it. You know, we loved Conor. When we talk about the people that respect him, the people that have watched him for all of these years, we've loved Conor because he's interesting, because he's interested. Rest assured, he's doing his homework right now on me. He knows how many times I've lost. He knows who I've lost to. He knows right now in what form or fashion I have lost. He knows what the chinks in my armor are. He knows where, and going back and watching other interviews where I might have doubts and insecurities. He knows all of these things. He loves to do his homework on opponents. He loves to well up old emotions and make them brand new and make you trip over yourself live on TV. So I'm expecting that. He's a witty guy with a wicked tongue, and he's got the gift of gab. But I'm really, really excited to fight fire with fire in that regard. I'm excited for the tension, the competition, the linguistic battles that we're going to get into, and the friendly competition. As you said, the respectful competition. Make no mistake, I respect Conor for what he has done for the sport. I respect him for the life that he has built for him and his family, the legacy that he will have when he does step away from the sport. But I'm coming for that win later on down the line on pay-per-view. And especially right now, as I said, the competition starts right now. I'm already studying old seasons of The Ultimate Fighter in the past. His season prior against Uriah Faber years ago, watching the way that he carried himself, watching the kind of the ebbs and flows of how this show goes, so we can give the fans what they want on those nights when it's on ESPN, as well as build this thing and build this tension.
Yeah, I saw a little clip of him wearing his Gucci Python shoes when he was facing Uriah Faber. So it'll be interesting to see what he wears now with a lot more money in his bank account. Let's talk about your training. As you said, you've started to really prepare and look into what you will be facing. How will this training camp be different from others in the past?
There will be little tweaks here and there, but for the most part, I really do just keep the main thing the main thing. I think too often in whatever vocation that we choose in life, we think, well, I had a loss or I suffered a setback here, so I need to make a lot of big changes. A lot of times it's just a little bitty small changes that you can make each day that add up to the big results. So for me, I focus 90% on myself and how I can get better, how I can become more dangerous, how I can be more efficient and effective inside of the octagon, and then focus that last 10% on Conor. We know who Conor is. We've watched him fight. We know what habits and tendencies and idiosyncrasies he has inside of the octagon. We know what his strengths are, and we also know where we can exploit his weaknesses. On the other side, he knows the exact same things about me. So it's going to be a lot of the same thing. I will be training with my team down in Florida. The good thing is I will have some of my coaches in Vegas while we're fighting. We can already start to game plan now in February, March, leading up to this later on in the year fight that we're going to have. Obviously, the show of The Ultimate Fighter is going to end in August, so I would anticipate us fighting sometime September, October, November, if you will, because you don't want to get it too far past the ending of the show. So we get to start preparing right now, start taking notes right now, start going back and looking at and peeling back the layers of who Conor is, watch all of his performances, watch where he has been exploited and where his weaknesses are. And I expect to get my hand raised in dominant fashion later on this year on pay-per-view.
All right, so big lightweight fight for the belt this weekend between Islam Makhachev and Alexander Volkanovski. Michael Chandler, how do you see this fight playing out?
Man, I have been asked about this now numerous times, and as I've said previously, I feel like almost every time I answer it, I'm changing my tune, because one time I say Islam Makhachev, who knows exactly what he wants to do. He wants to go in there, get in Volkanovski's face, pick him up, put him down, and wear him down and look for the submission and ground and pound. On the flip side of that, we know that Volkanovski is the most well-rounded and most well-versed athlete in the sport of mixed martial arts, in my opinion. If Volkanovski needs to defend those takedowns, I think he can in a lot of instances. When it comes to a stand-up battle, Volkanovski is so much more well-versed, so much more well-rounded, so much more dangerous. So the question remains, can Islam Makhachev do what he knows he has to do to win this fight? And can Volkanovski thwart off Islam's attacks to take him down, pick him up, put him down, and go for that submission and ground and pound? If I was a betting man, I'd give the slight favorite to Volkanovski's versatility, Swiss Army knife of mixed martial arts capabilities, his cardio, and most importantly, I think his fight IQ. I think he can withstand the takedowns of Islam. Even if Islam does take him down, Volkanovski is a bear to hold down. He's going to use the cage wall. He's going to get up, and then he's going to start putting a beating on him, Islam. So if I had to give a slight edge, it's Volkanovski. And when I say slight, it is slight because Islam is a man on a mission. He's out to prove that he wasn't just Khabib's underling. He wasn't just Khabib Nurmagomedov's little brother, if you will, and training partner. He wants to be Islam, the champion of the world. He wants to say there is a lightweight champion in the UFC, and his name is Islam Makhachev. So the man is on a mission, but if I had to give a slight edge, I would give it to Volkanovski.
Man, we are so looking forward to it, and we are so looking forward to The Ultimate Fighter coming out in May on ESPN+, and then seeing you, Michael Chandler, facing Conor McGregor in the octagon later this year. Enjoy the ride. Good luck. We're rooting for you, and thanks so much for coming on SportsCenter.
Thank you so much. Pull your hat down tight because we're about to have a wild year.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.